Was the turning point, or was there a single issue that you were like, okay, now I have to run. I got to run.
Yeah. A lot of it has to do with education and infrastructure of the city. Okay. So, a lot of, public school systems maybe not getting as much attention, or wondering if we're going to face some kind of crisis that we're not quite financially prepared for when it comes to the infrastructure here in the next, 10 years or so.
Okay. How much have you looked into related to that? It kind of sounds like, are you concerned about the debt, or are you concerned about just generally how we fund schools, but then infrastructure? What could you expound on that?
Sure. So schools, unfortunately, College Station just isn't ranked as highly as I think we should be for having such a large university. We have a focus on this large center for education, but we leave out a lot of the ideas for the smaller schools. And then, of course, with the infrastructure, exactly how prepared are we? Do we have a financial plan? Is what we're putting into this expansion what we're going to get back out as far as tax revenue and different things go?
Yeah, that's a good point. So would you say those are your two most pressing issues that you want to deal with should you be elected mayor? The education, school system, and the infrastructure?
I would definitely say those would probably be my two strongest, just preparing for the future.
What do you mean by that we're not getting out of it as much as we're putting into it in terms of infrastructure?
Of course. So we're doing a lot of planning and development, but we are stretching ourselves a little thin. I'm actually a bit of a history nerd myself, and that's one of the great collapses of what people would consider the Roman Empire. They stretched too far out, and their infrastructure and their planning couldn't keep up with it. We can build 3 more neighborhoods and then develop new roads, water lines, power, everything out to those. And then 20, 30 years down the line, when that all has to be either repaired or replaced, we might not have that initial investment back, or we might not have the investment to do it the second time. And then suddenly we are hundreds of $1,000s in the hole rather than profit.
Well, then what would you do differently? I mean, College Station is a city, like a lot of Texas cities, where it's often easier to expand out than any other way. Do you have any ideas as far as what we would do differently? Because a lot of times, honestly, as a developer, it's easier to just keep doing business as usual. Do you have any ideas of tweaks to the system that would resolve that issue you're talking about?
So one good idea that I've seen brought up a few times would be reducing the minimum lot size.
Okay.
That in a large sense that lets you use the land a bit more, economically, a little bit more sparingly. And of course, the more houses, even smaller houses are more affordable to different families. That gives you larger taxable income, as well as more jobs that are going into the city.